remember my question at the start of the show on whether a global recession is imminent? Well, let's look at some important factors and events. The Russia-Ukraine crisis is set for a protracted spell into 2023 with ensuing disruptions to global oil and gas supplies and food supply. North Korea's incredible, audacious threat and posture, which the launch of ballistic missiles towards Japan, is forcing US carriers to the region, and that news looks set to dominate geopolitical headlines for the rest of 2022. The timing of this, as the US midterm elections approach in November, could rattle markets. And speaking of the US, President Biden's reactions to moves by OPEC and its allies to commence production cuts of 2 million barrels a day in November coincides with the midterm elections, and is no surprise, but it has stoked fears about rising gas prices again in the US. And globally, there's food price inflation, the hunger crisis continues to bite, while reports of climate change-induced flooding from Balochistan in Pakistan to Kogi in central Nigeria further impacts the agricultural value chain and is affecting livelihoods. Many of these dynamics are not new, but when we look at the hardcore numbers, we may be seeing a fundamental shift in the world economy. 33% of the world's economies will experience at least 2 consecutive quarters of contraction in 2022 and 2023. All the world's largest economies are slowing down, while the euro area continues to face severe disruption to gas supplies. And the latest OPEC move, alongside protracted food shortages, could deepen inflationary pressures, forcing future rate hikes in key economies and threatening consumer spending. There is greater fragility and more uncertainty, and now more than ever, a key priority, in my view, should be how efforts to stabilize the global economy are accelerated while diplomacy and multilateral negotiations help tackle growing geopolitical tensions. Well, all of this suggests that there's now a strong likelihood of a global recession in 2023. The IMF has already downgraded global growth forecast for 2023 and will hold annual member meetings alongside the World Bank Group with 190 countries from Monday next week. However, there is no doubt in my mind that any remedies or mitigation action to stem this tide will not be complete without efforts to help one very specific category of people: the 75 million people who are being predicted to be pushed into poverty anew by the end of this year if we stay on this trajectory. Finally, UK Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng, who's been in the spotlight recently for his bold move to cut taxes, recently said this: "The bull market, rising prices, earning lots of money make it seem as if the good days will never end. When prices are falling and there's a recession, that also feels as though it will last forever. Politics is the same. People simply can't imagine changing circumstances," he said. Well, this isn't politics, this is business, and I hope I've helped you imagine changing circumstances. Tweet at me. I'm Rolake Akinkugbe-Filani, and I'll see you next time.